Next I made a beer called Out to Lunch. I didn't intend that to be the name, it just happened to work that way. I wanted to make another beer with redwood tips, but the problem is, when I went to pick the tips a month later than my first picking, the flavor was entirely different. Because of the weather, the tips are very light green, and chewing on them, which is how you tell flavor, you just chew on them. Much like you chew on malt. You don't chew on hops per se, but unless you're really sick. So I chewed on them, and the only character I could really get strong was like a lemony character. Little bit of redwood, but nowhere near the astringency and the redwood-like character, the pine-like character I got before. So, having committed to make this beer and cutting the branches and getting just a lemony character, I went, okay, what now? I still wanted to reproduce a beer that tasted like a beer. So, I basically took a trip to the grocery store and bought anything I could possibly conceive of that would have any component you could find in hops. Hops have piney notes, obviously. They have citrusy notes. They have floral notes. They have fruity notes. And so I got anything along those lines. And what I ended up using was some cilantro for the kind of green, fleshy notes. I used some lemons, a couple limes. I think I threw a couple jalapenos in there, 2 or 3, I can't recall. I got some nice deep grapes, deep dark ruby grapes. And a bunch of other things. I don't even remember what all I used. It was that crazy. And I was throwing things in the kettle and went, my God, this is like Out to Lunch. Oh, and that's how the beer name was formed. So what I accomplished was trying to find a beer that tasted like a beer, but again, had no hops, by dissecting each of the different components that a hop would give you and just getting it from merely somewhere else.